Kunal, first to you, ICICI Bank is a buy.
Yes, Siddharth, it has to be a buy because of the breakout on Friday. I think after coming after almost 2 weeks of mild consolidation, trading in a 7-8 point band for almost 2 weeks. And yes, on Friday we saw a good price and volume breakout on weekly closing basis as well at 317, 17 and a half. ICICI Bank seems to be at a weekly closing high compared to the last I think 4 or 5 weeks of price performance. So in all parameters, the price move suggests that this could be a start of a decent amount of short-term uptrend for ICICI Bank. 340 is the target which I am eyeing on ICICI Bank. I would recommend a buy with stop loss at 310.
ICICI Bank in future segment also added a lot of positions. In fact, 10% rise in open interest breakout in line with what Kunal just mentioned. Manas, let's start with SRF first and then ICICI Bank later. Even this stock has added 10% in OI, not a stock which we usually discuss, but here too a breakout trade?
This is a breakout trade, Siddharth, because I think in the month of November it gave a triangular breakout on the long-term charts, and the target of that breakout comes near to 2250 or maybe 2300. However, it was facing some resistance on higher levels a few weeks back. It could not sustain on higher levels near to 2000 mark. But the way it has broken 2000 mark on Friday with great volumes and oscillators are showing positive crossover, I think the rally will resume and soon stock can test around 2100. So 2100 is my target. Stop loss should be 1965.
Okay, Dr. Nayan, even you have SRF as buy, but let's discuss Siemens first. Here too, we are seeing a lot of volume, 7% rise in open interest in future segment, and chartly also you seem to be bullish. What's the rationale?
Well, I'm going by the situation on the daily as well as the weekly charts. On the daily, there is clearly an upside move past recent set of resistances. So that clears the overhead resistance and should enable the stock to continue higher. But what I'm finding is that on the weekly charts, the last 3-4 weeks of decline and sideways consolidation has actually brought stock down into a support zone. And in the overall context, the reaction just completes an ongoing triangle type consolidation pattern. And the upward thrust of last week might signal on the weekly charts an attempt to get out of the sideways consolidation and begin an uptrend all over again. So with the weekly well in support of the daily chart breakout, I think Siemens is a decent buy at the current prices. 1320, 1322 last price. Can buy this with about a 15-point stop loss. Expected target for the day around 1340, but more is also possible if breakout sustains.
Siemens is a buy according to Dr. Nayan. Kunal, last week most of the NBFCs were active, and now this week we have a very strong reason for most of them to be active because of Capital First and IDFC Bank merger talks. Equitas is for you. Why so?
Well, Siddharth, for the last 4 weeks, the stock has gradually gained, price momentum. So from 138, 140 levels, the stock has graduated to 160, 165 levels. But interestingly, in the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks of this price performance, the average volumes, whether it's on the daily charts, whether it's on the weekly charts, has increased. So this is a move which is now coming out, which indicates that the price is now coming out of a big sort of a downtrend, and suggested by volume action support of the 200 moving average, which it tested 2 or 3 trading sessions back. So mild reversal around along the averages and then a continuation of trend. I think all of these patterns or all of these factors indicate that I think Equitas should continue to steady rise on a steady note on the upside. 175 is the target which I am eyeing on Equitas. I would recommend a buy. Stop loss to be kept at 157.
Manas, let's discuss your rationale for ICICI Bank now.
See, rationals are almost same what Kunal said, but I want to add one more thing, that on daily chart oscillators are showing positive crossover. So I think this is a clear breakout case, and after this breakout, at least you can expect the target of around 330, which is its previous high. So here one can create long position with stop loss of 311.
Narayan, SRF, any other pointers apart from what Manas said for giving it a buy call?
I'm more or less in complete agreement with what Manas said. It's a clear breakout case. The only thing that I want to add here perhaps would be that you're seeing positive setups which are supporting one another in the intraday, daily as well as the weekly charts. And when all the charts are pointing in the same direction, the chances that the move will actually come through are so much more heightened. So I think it's a pretty low risk sell. You should keep a 1% stop ideally in all the trades that you take. SRF is not the most liquid of names, but it is a very high beta name. So a little higher if it were to open, it still doesn't matter. You can buy it with a 20-point stop loss. I would think a day's target at about 2025 to 2035, but the breakout is pretty substantial and therefore I would expect even more.